Wagwan, everybody. Welcome to our next episode of Taught the Things podcast. Today, I'm going to be asking the question: do black people influence the city the most? Now, a few people asked me to do a video like this in my DMs, and I seen a few people saying something like this in my comment section on a couple of videos that I did. A lot of people are always saying that we influence the city the most, and I said, okay, let me ask that question, and you guys can let me know your opinions at the end of the video. But just go over the facts of what I have. I don't really want to say facts, but the points I put down, we're gonna go over those, right? And then you guys can make your opinion, and we'll see what one. So the categories that I'm gonna put the video in is the areas, the dressing, the music, and the speaking, the accent, the whole Toronto accent thing that I made a whole video on. But I'm just gonna go over it again in this video. But I want to start with the areas, and I'm gonna be talking about the hoods specifically, or the hoods, or the urban areas where mostly black people live, right? The only parts of Toronto that are mainly talked about, especially online and like on Six Buzz and those pages and stuff, is hood. Jane and Finch, Rexdale, Falstaff, Galloway, Malvern, Horton Park. It goes on and on and on. Those are a lot of the things that you see on social media. That people always want to be a part of living in hoods, even if they have nothing to do with it and has never lived there. People go out their way to lie to say that they're from those areas, and I find that so weird. Like they're from good areas, nice suburb areas, but they lie and they go out of their way and tell people and move. Like I don't know, like in a way, even though it's not the best thing, it's still influence in my opinion because. Why the hell would you live in a big house and wanna be from the hood? You wanna be with like I don't know. And the reason why I say black people again is because majority they come on be realistic now. Most black people live in the hoods. You know what I mean? You go to the hoods, there's like 90% black people in the urban areas. That's our areas, right? Even though we live everywhere and we're spread out and there's enough black people. I think the most black people in any city or some shit like that is in Ajax, and it's so weird because Ajax is a local town. But I seen something about posted that you guys can go search it up and see. So I don't know, like it's just weird to me that people go out of their way to lie to say that they're from a bad area when they're not. You know what I mean? There has to be a form of influence for people to do that because you're not gonna want to do that just because. But I wanted to go into the dressing because little kids in suburbs, right? And I'm not just gonna say white kids. So I don't want nobody coming in my comment section saying white kids. I'm just talking about kids in the suburbs. It could even be black kids. Not really though, because there's a culture, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. And we're gonna go through that in the video. So little kids, right, that used to just wear like Skechers shoes and they just had their hair come down in their face. They used to wear like Walmart t-shirt. Nothing's wrong with that. That's how white kids just dress. A lot of them still do dress like that. But now you see a lot of them in Nike Tech Flea. They cut their hair in like a taper cut. They beg their mom to buy them these big old dirty Jordans that get pulled off their foot most of the time. But they still buy them and make their kids wear them. And these are like 11-year-olds. Nike Tech Flea right down the newest version. And it's like, where do you get that influence to dress like that ski mask and shiesty on face? As I look at 11-year-old white kid from the suburbs, where do you do this? Where do you see people dress like this out here? It's influence that they get, and who dresses like that? Little black. No, the reason why I said I didn't want to say black kids and it's a culture thing is because as young, mommy said from when I was a baby, that I had it was too much Jordans to even probably count. Every Jordan you can think of, I had gold chain, ring, because this is how the black culture, this is how we do our babies. A lot of white people, you don't see them do their babies like that. We're talking facts now, guys. Come out your feeling. Yes, there might be a 1-2 that wear the Jordans and whatever, but black babies, that's how they mostly dress. Their ears are pierced from like their baby. A lot of other cultures other than black and Indian, I don't think do that. They wear the Jordans, they wear the jewelry. So this is what we do from birth. So if you're in elementary school, coming up, we always had Jordans. And I'm gonna give you guys a story. Like for instance, when I was in like grade 3, I used to get our haircuts, right? And black people, we always did this. Me and my one friend named Kadeem, we used to always get our haircuts and we used to get designs, big designs at the side of our head, like where they would use the blades and stuff. That's the next thing that is black culture. We used to get our hairline. Hairline's always crisp, right? Just for instance, you will see an Indian and he would never have his hair like that. Like they would come and be like, "Oh, whoa, what is that at the side of your head? Is this a bald spot?" And I'm like, "A bald spot can make a pattern like this. It's not a bald spot." Or even if you get a line, just a crisp line, like they will see that. They will see the lineup that we have. They wouldn't have lineups. They would have like mushroom cuts. Like their hair didn't grow to where they needed to get lined up. But by the time they reached high school, that's how they were cutting their hair. Just like how we had it from when we were in grade three, when they never knew what it was. They would think that we had bald spots. White kids would just have like mohawks. They would just have a straight buzz cut, or they would have long hair. It's a trend now because they're getting the influence from who? Black people. Now, the reason why I'm going to say one more time that I'm not going to keep saying black kids are copying people when they're doing that is because it's a cultural thing for us. This is what we do. This is just black people culture. Even if you go to Africa, Jamaica, US, black people just have this about us that other cultures don't have. But now we're starting to see, especially in Toronto here and the younger youths, they're copying it, they're taking it on. And it's not nothing to say that it's bad, but you just have to know who is doing the influencing. Anybody can wear braids, remember this. But now you see them and their parents don't even agree with them that they should have these braids in their hair. They post on TikTok all the time how their parents hate it and think they're drug dealers. But now they braid up their hair. So for those who used to have tall hair, from elementary school, our hair was in braids. We would go to school with our hair in braids. They would never, a white kid would never come to school with their hair in braids, even if their hair was long. An Indian youth would never do that. When they reach high school now, they start doing it because who did they see doing it from elementary coming up? This is just my personal opinion. You guys can differ in the comment section. You don't have to get rude because you know I'll diss you in the comment section, but we can still have a discussion. This is just my observation and this is what I think. People will always go on social media and laugh and say, well, black girls never wear their own hair. But I believe it came from Africa a long, long time when they would add hair extensions and make braids that would go all the way down to the ground. Now you see a lot of other races doing that style. Now, yes, anybody can wear it. But for the girls, I see a lot of them say, like, not that you're copying us, but if you it is influence, you know what I mean? Like this is what we do that we've been doing for centuries. Not necessarily you guys been wearing braids from the Viking and stuff, but the styles, like you know what we mean when we say that you're doing it, like how black girls do it. That's what a lot of black girls I hear saying. And a lot of them are saying that in my comment section. I did a whole video on the culture vultures and how a lot of them try to do up themselves like black women but then try this black women because they think that Jamaican men prefer them over black women. But it's not really like that because I mean if you have to try to copy to be a black girl, how would that make any sense if they prefer you? You know what I mean? If you're trying to imitate. I don't know. There was a whole thing and I was talking about that in my other videos. So you guys can go check that out if you want to. But I wanted to talk about the music. Going on to the music. Everybody is trying to be a rapper, and I don't even care if you're black, bro. Some of these niggas out here making rap and the fucking rap sounds terrible. I don't even know what it is that I'm hearing, bro. They're yelling and screaming. The beats one way, they're way over on the next side. It's just crazy what I'm hearing now. But black people are the creators of rap and hip hop. We all know that. That's our genre of music. A lot of parents wouldn't approve of the music that I hear some of these little youths that come from the suburbs listening to, but they're getting influence and they're not choosing like I just think that it's not like in their eyes, it's not. I guess you would say, how would you say this? It's not. It don't look good to listen to like Luke Combs and those country people and their white people music or whatever you are. You know, you listen to your Bollywood music if you come from India, you know, or wherever you come from. I feel like they listen to the rap music because they think that that's what is in. That's what's hit. That's the influence I'm talking about. So I'm sure you guys can see what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to talk without saying the wrong thing because I don't want people to get the wrong impression of what I'm saying. But I want you guys to actually look and see and wonder. And when you say everybody shouldn't become a rapper now, and these kids that don't come from these blocks and they come from these good areas and they're trying to imitate, they're trying to claim these blocks that they've never even they don't know nothing about, don't even come across. Then they're making rap music, then they're dressing like this. And it's like, who are they imitating and dressing? And then most time now they go famous, they get viral, because they're overdoing it now. They over exaggerate it, and then people find it funny. But it's like who they low key imitating. We all know it's black people. But I wanted to move on to the Toronto accent. Now, I want to go over the brief history of this again because I keep seeing people comment under the Toronto accent video, and I have to wonder if they have like if their brain is made of ground beef because it's like you can't be watching the video right. I gave the whole history of the accent and then still go and comment that the Toronto accent doesn't exist. Bro, you cannot invalidate a whole bunch of people and the people who originated something just because other people are copying it. Of course, that's not the real thing when you hear a local youth that just comes up that has no form of Jamaican in him, but he's using all these patois words, twisting up his mouth and trying to talk. We already said that the Toronto accent came from when Jamaican people moved. A lot of Jamaican people moved from Jamaica up to Canada in the 70s. When they started having kids in Canada, they still spoke their Jamaican tongue. The Canadian kids will mix the Jamaican tongue with the English from Toronto, and it formed a way that only black people spoke. Only black Jamaicans talked like this. No, Nigerians didn't talk like this. No, any other black people, US people. Well, there's not much American people in Canada still, but I think it's really only Jamaican or African. Like, I don't know what other black people there is. But if you're not, or Caribbean, but those time I'm talking about in the 70s when we were coming up, it was just Jamaican Canadians that spoke like this. And then it just started to go viral. Everybody started to talk like that because most of the Jamaican Canadians lived in hoods, right? So when they lived in the hoods, now there's other people, there's immigrants, there's Somalians that live in the hoods now. There's Arab people that live in the hoods now. There's Indian people that live in the hoods now. And they would hear how we talk and they would talk to us like that. And then they would start talking like that. And then it just kept spreading around and until people that live way out in some next suburb area hear how it sounds and they like how it has a patois and they try to talk like that. But they don't have no Toronto, no, not even no Toronto. They don't have no Jamaican in them. And then it sounds foolish because it's branching off from where it originally came from. But you can't say that the Toronto accent doesn't exist or that accent is fake. It's not fake because it's real. Jamaican Canadians talk like that because of the influence we hear from our parents. It mixes, it creates a twang. You can't invalidate people. But once again, the whole city talks like this now. Where is that coming from? Black Jamaican Canadians. Black people influence the way the entire city talks, no matter what race you are. That's such a big thing, if you ask me. That's just like the UK. Remember now, Toronto and the UK are very much the same, but even up here, we have so much people. Toronto is such a multicultural city. 50% of the people in Toronto were not born here, but yet half of the city, the young people, speak like Jamaican people. They try to talk like how black Jamaican people talk. Yeah, we say I want to wala and them word it, but most of the time it's Jamaican patois. You hear a lot of them try to imitate and mix with English. So you guys heard all my facts. Well, not facts, but once again, you heard all my points. And I want you guys to let me know what you think about this whole episode. What you think about the points that I'm saying. You know what I mean? Are you agreeing with them? Do you think not? If you think I'm reaching with some stuff, let me know. We will talk next time on Talk the Things podcast. Pretty little Bobby, got the body up for